All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're exploring this incredible world hidden deep inside you, this amazing biological machine that's responsible for turning your food into actual fuel.
Have you ever really stopped to think about it? How does the breakfast you ate this morning actually become the energy for your brain to even process this question? It's a massive challenge your body has to solve every single day.
And the answer? Well, it all comes down to solving one giant problem: surface area. You see, to get all those good nutrients from your gut into your blood, your body had to become a master architect on a microscopic scale.
So what do you say we go on a little trip? Like a microscopic safari. We're going to zoom way, way in from the organ level all the way down to the cellular level to see this incredible design in action.
Okay, so our journey starts right here, in the small intestine. Now, you probably know it's a super long, coiled-up tube, right? But the real magic isn't how long it is. It's all about what's going on inside, on that inner surface.
So if we could just slice a piece open and look inside, you'd see something amazing. The inner wall isn't smooth, not at all. It's covered in all these folds, kind of like a curtain. And right away, that design massively boosts the surface area. But hold on, it gets even better. The design goes another level deeper. If we zoom in on those folds, we'd see they are completely covered in millions of these tiny little finger-like things. We call them villi. And each one is its own tiny, super specialized absorption machine.
All right, so let's grab one of these incredible structures, pop it under the microscope, and really see what makes it tick.
And there it is, the villus. This little guy is the absolute hero of our story today. Seriously, every single part of its structure is perfectly fine-tuned for one very specific, very vital purpose.
So what's its whole reason for being? Well, it's to act as the gateway. Its job is to grab all those digested nutrients and get them into your body's transport systems. You know, the highways that deliver that fuel to every single cell you have.
Okay, now for the really cool part. Let's break down the specific features, the adaptations that make the villus so ridiculously good at what it does. We're going to look at 5 key things. First, that massive surface area we've been talking about. Then, its super thin walls. Third, a really rich blood supply. Fourth, this special little fat collector right in the middle. And finally, the high-energy cells that power the whole show.
Okay, so just when you thought we couldn't possibly fold it anymore, surprise. There's another level. Every single cell on the surface of the villus is also folded. These are called microvilli. You know, the best way to think about it is like a fluffy towel, right? All those tiny loops are there just to soak up more water. It's the exact same idea here. One more trick to multiply that surface area.
All these microvilli together create what scientists call a brush border, and it literally looks like the bristles of a brush. It's this final, genius layer of folding that gives the small intestine this absolutely enormous surface area, making sure absorption happens as fast as physically possible.
Now check this out. This is another mind-blowing design feature. The wall of the villus is just one single cell thick. That's it. That's the entire barrier between the food in your gut and your bloodstream.
So why does that matter? Well, it means nutrients have a super short commute. They barely have to travel at all. This lets absorption happen crazy fast, either through simple diffusion, just moving from a crowded area to a less crowded one, or through what's called active transport, where the cell actually uses energy to grab specific nutrients and pull them inside.
So once the nutrients make it across that one-cell wall, where do they go? Well, the villus is smart. It has 2 different transport systems, like 2 different highways for 2 different types of cargo.
This chart lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the blood capillaries. They handle all the water-soluble stuff, like glucose and amino acids. On the other side, you have the lacteal, which is built specifically to handle fats. They're part of 2 totally different systems and even go to different destinations first. So you've got this dense web of blood capillaries that quickly soaks up things like sugars and proteins, sending them straight to the liver for processing. And then, running right up the center of the villus is the lacteal. That's a vessel from the lymphatic system, and it's dedicated to absorbing fats and sending them out into general circulation.
But remember how I mentioned that active transport? Well, moving some of these nutrients isn't passive. It takes work. It requires energy. And that's why these cells are absolutely packed with mitochondria, the little powerhouses of the cell, churning out the energy needed to run the whole operation.
And hey, just a quick heads up, especially if you're a student, this concept, the link between the villus's structure and its function, comes up all the time on exams. It's a really classic example of how biology works, so it's definitely worth making sure you have these adaptations down.
Okay, so after this deep dive into the microscopic world of the villus, what's the one big idea? What's the one thing you should really take away from all this?
Here it is. Structure dictates function. It's that simple. Every single feature we talked about, from the huge folds down to the tiny microvilli, from that one-cell-thick wall to the two different transport systems, every little detail is an elegant solution designed for maximum nutrient absorption. It is an absolutely brilliant design.
It really is a masterpiece of biological engineering, isn't it? And it kind of makes you wonder. The villus is just one of our body's microscopic marvels. What other incredible hidden engines are working away right this second, just to keep you alive?